our community, it is my pleasure to present to you the pros, cons, and views of the voices of our neighbors concerning the proposed alternative energy production site for our neighborhood.
A wind turbine uses wind to produce energy. The blades of the turbine are shaped, so the wind passing by them causes them to rotate. As the wind hits the blades, they spin a low-speed shaft with a rotor. The rotor spins, driving a high-speed shaft that runs through a generator. The generator creates electricity using a magnetic rotor. As the rotor spins around inside the generator, it creates electromagnetic induction. This current of energy is then regulated and fed into the grid or routed into a battery bank for storage, which can be used for anything.
You may be thinking, who benefits from wind energy and what are the advantages?
We can all benefit from wind energy. Wind energy does not produce any harmful emissions. It is completely renewable, reliable, and can be very efficient. Wind energy is a clean energy for tomorrow. It does not require the burning of fossil fuels, and because it does not produce CO2 or greenhouse gases, it's environmentally friendly and is an alternative to fossil fuels. Using wind power to produce enough power for over 200 homes rather than burning coal will result in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by 2,000 tons and will leave 900,000 kilograms of coal in the ground. This has the same impact as taking 417 cars off the road or planting 10,000 trees.
Long term, this will provide us with a clean energy source that will not be depleted. We will always have wind. Doesn't this wind energy sound good? Perhaps I should discuss the disadvantages.
Firstly, wind energy is dependent on the availability of wind. With no wind, we have no energy. Secondly, the turbines kill birds. The blades rotate continuously and fiercely. Research has shown that 45,000 birds have been killed in a 20-year period. Thirdly, the turbines are noisy. Machinery is very noisy and a nuisance. The proximity of a quiet nature reserve close by in itself is a good reason for the site to be a poor choice. In addition, the visual impact. We all have different views on beauty. Although we have some residents suggesting these may be visually appealing, many more find them objectionable. Definitely, they disrupt the beauty of the natural landscape. To continue, land use. Huge areas of land are required for a wind farm. Utilizing this land so close to our homes and natural recreational areas can be considered a waste for the small amount of power produced. Lastly, turbines interfere with reception of televisions and radio signals. Many people who live near wind farms complain that they experience interference with these household items. Moving along to the economics of wind power, we find that although modern wind turbines today are more efficient, they are considered to be very costly, and there are ongoing debates as to whether they are worth the investment. Cost depends on the type of setup, mainly whether it is a small or large-scale farm. The efficiency of wind turbines depends on where they are placed, as it will dictate the cost effectiveness. Windy places will keep them running, whereas not so windy place will have downtime, where energy is not being produced. Obviously, this is an important factor when assessing the cost versus the benefits. The real advantage may lie in the use of small wind turbines on small-scale farms, which can be a very cost-effective source of renewable energy. They are appealing because they can produce enough energy to run on average a 12-volt appliance and can operate any home or small-sized building. People who use this method are very aware and careful of their energy consumption and tend not to waste it. These smaller farms or residential turbines cost less overall, but are more expensive per kilowatt of energy producing capacity. Wind turbines under 100 kilowatts cost roughly $3,000 to $5,000 per kilowatt of capacity. The cost of the electricity for a small turbine in a windy area runs approximately 0.07 cents per kilowatt hour. It is generally thought that wind turbines are not suitable for urban or suburban areas. Generally, a small turbine is best suited for areas of 1 acre or more. The economics indicate the minimum average wind speed should be at least 10 miles per hour, with a present electricity bill of at least 10 cents per kilowatt hour of electricity. Until recently, the three main issues regarding the downside of wind power have been bird death, high cost, and the disruption of land usage. More recently, people argue that the wind farms endanger health. Many residents in areas where wind turbines are used are not happy. They complain about the whooshing sound from the blades rotating. The blades can spin up to 180 miles per hour. At the high speed in winds, this spinning can produce sound, vibration, and a decrease in air pressure. This fluctuation in pressure can have a vibrational effect on the eardrum, which is thought to have a connection to health issues, creating breathing and digestive problems. This condition has been called wind turbine syndrome. Presently, studies are being performed on test patients living near wind farms to test infrasound sounds at a low frequency that cannot be normally heard by the human ear, but can be carried through the atmosphere for thousands of kilometers. It is this infrasound that appears to be the main issue, causing a variety of symptoms such as headaches, sleep problems, ringing in the ears, irritability, anxiety, problems with concentration, dizziness, and nausea.
In Ontario, many government departments are involved with wind energy approvals. By law, you require a renewable energy approval from the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change for most wind projects. At early stages, the Environmental Approvals Access and Service Integration Branch should be notified to discuss specific requirements.
On February 23, 2009, the Ontario Green Energy Act was introduced in the Ontario Legislature. This was created to expand the renewable energy generation, as well as encourage conservation and create clean energy jobs. The Ontario Green Energy Act guidelines indicate a 550-meter setback zone from homes when placing a turbine. In Ontario, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry play a key role in the project review, approval, and guidelines for renewable wind energy projects.
To conclude, when considering the long term, our health, the environment, natural resources, and our children of the future, wind energy can be an efficient and effective power source that is clean and environmentally friendly. We will not run short of wind. However, we need to protect our residential areas and natural environments. We cannot ignore the disadvantages of wind energy production on this sensitive natural reserve site. We cannot put our neighbors at risk of illness.
Yes, it is clean and does not require the burning of fossil fuels. Yes, it does not produce CO2 or greenhouse gases. Yes, it is renewable. But for the 15% energy production it will provide to our community, careful consideration must be given. We can't deny it is a good alternative energy choice, just not in our backyard.
Say no to wind energy as our new neighbor.